Good. Is it morning? It's morning where I am. It is
It's morning
probably
where I am.
it's morning where you are, and Meg, you're in the afternoon already.
Already.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Triggered. So, this is like something random that happened from a Marco Polo conversations that we have on a regular basis. We kind of just been keeping tabs on each other. We talk all the time, but we've been keeping tabs on each other during the corona while a lot of us are sheltered in place. If we haven't met before, hey, y'all, my name is Aisha. I am a licensed stylist in Chicago, and I will let the other. Is there anything else I need to add about that? We've been having a lot of conversations about beauty related beauty business. We thought we would take these private conversations and make them public because I think a lot of you probably are having the same conversations. You just don't have a safe space to have it, and we've had a safe space, and we just wanted to share the safe space that we had with everybody else who is in the industry with us. Hey, Tatiana.
Tatiana's in here. Yay.
Who wants to introduce themselves next?
Ronnie, why don't you go, sweetie?
Okay, so I'm Ronnie Jones of Curl Jones. I'm in Los Angeles, or really Pasadena, California. I've been a hairstylist for going on 25 years. I am a curl boss. No. And yeah, that's it. I have my own salon in Pasadena. For the last, I think I've hit a year and a half. A year.
Yeah.
2 years. 1 year? I don't even know anymore. I've lost track.
It's coming up on 2 years.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right. It'll be 2. Wow.
Yeah. 2 years. I remember.
Yeah. I don't even remember. It just all kind of melts together now. Yeah.
Yep. Because what? Today's Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's Saturday,
April 25th. It's my grandma's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
And it's
no longer with us, but it's her birthday.
Right. So yeah, Saturday. Yeah, this is what you get. This is what you guys get on a Saturday morning. I gave you guys lipstick.
Well, I want to do this whole show in the mask because this is the new look, right? This is what we're gonna see everybody. We can't see each other's mouths, but I just can't breathe in that thing.
Okay. Well, I have a lot of things to say about that.
I wanted to like overachieve here, but under 4 minutes we're in. I'm like, I got
right. That was my. Listen, that was my whole thing. Like, how are people going to work in a salon like that all day?
Right. So with that being said, my name is Meg Conkling. For those of you who don't know me, for those of you who do, what's up? How are you? It is cool to be here. I have a salon out in Dobbs Ferry, New York, which is just outside the city. And I'm really happy that we're doing this show because, our Marco Polos our chain of conversations have really just whirlwinded into really interesting topics that I think a lot of people would want to hear. And like Aisha said, are having at the forefront. So I'm glad we're doing this together. I'm really excited about what's going to pop up today because you never know with these girls.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous because, our little safe spaces, where we can say things that you don't really want to say.
I mean, filter versions, because like we can't say like
everything.
I mean, there's just some things you can't say. Like it's the whole if you don't have anything nice to say, that's the public part.
Right, but my filter is
super
big.
Space is for everything.
The filter here.
Yeah, well, it'll be slightly filtered. It will. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be slightly filtered. There may be
my own personal filter. I have filter difficulties.
Adriana, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Thank you, KV.
Hi, my name is Adriana. I have a hair salon in Tampa, Florida. And that's just it. We are 5 curly hair specialists. I don't know where Sonny is yet. We're 5 curly hair specialists, and we talk and we chat and we share knowledge and opinions and advice with each other. And we've been having some really interesting conversations recently. So we decided well, it was a joke. Somebody's like, we should have our own TV show. And
Here we are.
Well, I'm in my shop. I accidentally double booked myself, so I am here for some pickup orders at the salon today. So I might have to step away a couple times while we're here.
That's fine. Just mute your mic. That's all.
Nothing better to do, and I managed to double book myself in like the one time I'm actually supposed to be doing something.
That's really
Well, tell me this, everybody. Like, how is everybody feeling? I don't even remember what my last day in the salon. It was right before my birthday, which is March 23rd. And so I had already kind of prepared. I remember Tyciana sending me inboxes like, you going to work? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going, I had a whole thing about how I was going to handle going to work. And then like from her message, like every day I just like, I don't, I started thinking about how it wasn't a good idea. So how have you guys been feeling since that moment when you either came to, I guess, grips with having to shut down, or you had to shut down because the government was like, nah, man, you gotta, it's over. Go home.
Yeah.
I'm pretty even keeled. I wasn't, well, let me preface. So before all of this started, I had pneumonia. So I was down for about 3 weeks with pneumonia. So I already hadn't worked for a while. And so I probably I didn't even get in a full 2 weeks before we got officially shut down. So I was okay. I felt like the date that they gave us a month. They said 30 days. And so I was like, okay, I'm safe. I'm pretty set for that. So I wasn't too worried. However, before that, I was really trying to get some days in so I could, stockpile some money so I could feel a little safe. Other than that, I was just like, whatever, I just kind of went with the flow, surfed on through, didn't really worry about it until they extended the date. So we were originally March 19th through April 19th. Then around the 10th or 11th, they said we were going to extend, and I'm in California. So they extended us until May the 15th. At that point, I was still feeling really safe, but I was thinking like, God, this could go on longer. And those are the conversations that started happening, because that's when they started talking about peaking in all these different states, the amounts of the virus that were the deaths and the, just the ones that were coming out had tripled. And I was like, this is going to be a whole lot longer. So my stress level a little bit, because I just wasn't sure what I was going to do with myself. But other than that, I've been feeling safe because in California, they've been doing a fantastic job of everything all the way around, just keeping everyone informed, trying to keep everyone safe. And they've been very transparent about what they're doing and why they're doing it. So I'm kind of in a place where I'm like, yeah, whatever.
That evolution of when the salon first closes to where we are now, for me, has really changed dramatically. In the beginning, I don't know if it was panic or if it was just a new way of living that I wasn't used to. Being a salon owner, you wear several different hats, and all those hats were being told to be put down and not be used. And that to me was really hard because I come from I was raised by a really strong mother. So she always told me, don't let anybody tell you how to live your life. And when a pandemic's breaking out, you're like, wait, is this when I'm supposed to be rebellious, or is this where I'm supposed to abide by protocol? So I abided by protocol. I was actually in Tampa with Adriana when I decided to close. And, she witnessed me kind of going through the thought process of the back and forth of what do I do? Because, I'm a one-person salon owner. I didn't have the same mindset as if somebody who owned a salon with 27 employees. So I felt like I could just get under the rug but I realized that I needed to not look at this as a situation all about me. I needed to look at my clients. I needed to look at also my health. And I've never really been good at looking at my health because I'm always saying yes to everyone else. So that was a huge like mind check. But I think after I closed, and I live in New York, right? So everything in New York was really a much bigger deal. In the sense of we had, I think within like 2.5 weeks of me closing, there was that announcement of the hospital in Queens with 13 people dying in one night, including that nurse. And, it really kind of gave some reality. So it's been challenging, but it's also been really positive because it's allowed me to work on other parts of my business that I was neglecting because I was being too physical in the salon. So now that I'm not in the salon as much, it's allowed me to be much more creative on a virtual platform. So I'm grateful for that, for sure. But that's definitely my take on it.
Adriana, how about you? Did you hear the question?
No, I did. I know. I did. So we had our safer at home order issued, I believe it was March, like in the 20s, after Meg had come to visit. And that week prior to the safer at home order being issued, I pretty much like 70% of my appointments canceled. So I was in here. I am a small salon. It is myself and my assistant, Shinode, who may or may not be watching. And I was like, well, it's okay. It's just me. Like we keep everything really clean. It's not like I have a lot of people in here. So in the beginning, I was like, hey, y'all, don't worry. Like come to your appointments if you so choose. If you choose to cancel, I totally respect that too. But majority of my business canceled that week. And then the mayor issued a safer at home order. And then a few days later, the governor issued a statewide safer at home order. And at first I was like, okay, wow, this sucks. And it was actually really, rewind. I actually made the decision after I had that 1 week where almost everybody canceled. I was like, you know what? Like, I need to do the responsible thing here, and I need to just take a step back. It's not about me and like making money and keeping my salon open. It's about keeping people healthy. There's people who have been asymptomatic with this virus, and I don't want to be one of those. And I don't want to unwittingly get somebody else sick or contribute to the spreading of the virus. So I think it is my responsibility because I do have, many people coming through here, and we're face to face and we're really close and we're touching and everything, to not put ourselves in that position to potentially spread. So I did make the decision. And then like a day or two later, it was confirmed by the mayor, who then issued the safer at home. But I was in tears. It was really hard. It was really hard to close the doors. This is like a small little salon, and it's been a dream. And I have a lot of wonderful people who are really supportive. And I was like pumping Meg up, and I was like, Meg, you do what you need to do for your business. But then when it came time for me to make my decision, I was like, shit, this is really hard. But I was like, it's okay. I've been really responsible with my money. I have some money set aside. We'll be okay. We'll just close for like a couple weeks, and it won't be that big a deal. And then they issued the safer at home for the entire month. And I was like, all right, cool. A month, not so bad. We can do this. And then halfway through the month, all the bills hit my bank account, all of the rent and the insurance and everything. And I was like, oh shit, this is okay for like a minute, but this is not going to be cute for more than a minute. And so here we are. We're at the end of March. The governor is supposed to get back to us any day with what their plans are as to whether we're going to reopen or not. And I don't know, this has raised a lot of questions, a lot of insecurities, a lot of concerns with all of this, which is why we're here today.
I had to unmute my mic. Sonny, can you please introduce yourself?
Hey y'all, you know I'm country. Hey y'all, this is Silk by Sonny Garrett here. I am in Dallas, Texas, and I am a over 10 year hairstylist, and I'm a suite owner as well. And as far as like how this is going, I remember when this first started happening, and you know, we talk all the time. So we were all kind of going back and forth. And I was like, man, I don't know. And then Ronnie's like, just stay your ass at home. Like, what's your problem? Just stay at home. And so I was just kind of like, but I need to work. Like, and so I'm just grinding out, like trying to take all these freaking clients. I'm wiping shit down. Like I didn't have a mask at that point, but I'm literally wiping shit down all day. It was daunting. Okay. And trying to get all my clients in. And then I believe it was like, I think we shut down, the city shut down, I think the 21st or 22nd or something like that of March. And I remember before they issued a government order, the owner of our building had sent out letters to everybody saying, hey, we don't think it's safe, so we're just going to shut this shit down. Like, it is what it is. And so I'm like, okay. And I kind of had put in my mind, like I was going to stop working anyway. So it wasn't that deep, but I ended up, and so I ended up shutting down a day before they said no. Actually, so we were supposed to close they told us on Friday that Sunday would be our last day. But before that happened, Saturday came around, and the judge had signed an order to stay at home by Saturday night. So Sunday didn't even happen. I don't work Sundays anyway, so I wasn't fucked up about it. So, and then now we're here. I believe for me, I mean, I got on my shit, and it just is what it is. That first 2 weeks was really rough. I'm a worker, I'm a hustler, and I find a lot of self-purpose. And I didn't even realize it at the time, that a lot of my self-worth comes from what I do, my job. Like I work so much that is a huge portion of my life, and I didn't even realize it, how big it was. And so for me, like that first 2 weeks, I had lost all life purpose. I'm like, well, people like, what you gonna do tomorrow? I don't have nothing to do. Like, I don't have at that point, I was like, I don't have a life. I have nothing. And so I went through like this whole 2 weeks of just pure like depression. My birthday's right after Aisha's. Like, so that, you know, it's having your birthday at home, doing Zoom calls, like, but you know, at the end of that 2 weeks, I kind of came out of my funk, and have been rocking and rolling since, just trying to figure this internet thing down. So that, I guess for now, that is my new normal until the state says that we can go back to work. Right, so right now we're waiting on April 27th when he'll announce something. Who knows what that is going to be or when? We have no idea. I know Dallas County actually issued a stay-at-home order. They extended their stay-at-home order from April 30th to May 15th. But whatever the governor says will supersede whatever they're doing in the county. But here's the caveat to that. The owner of our building has said they're going to stick with whatever Dallas County says. So even if he comes back on the 27th and says May 1st, all the stylists can go back to work, I still can't go back to work until the owner of the building says that I can, even if I wanted to. So what does that look like? You know?
Yeah.
I think I'm done.
But is that you know, because of that, because the state is open, are you then going to have to like pay everything that the state is requiring you to pay? Because once the state's back open, then all the bills come and there's no more protection. But if your suite owner is saying, no, we're not doing it, how does that work in coordinates to what you need to pay and what you don't need to pay? Like, how does that work?
So I will not. I'm sorry, guys. There's somebody. I don't know who's telling me. I can't. It won't cut off. And I don't know where my phone is at. It just won't stop. Anyway, anyway, so actually I will not be required to pay rent in my suite. And he actually which is pretty cool because he issued a closing of the building before the city or the county actually did. He had already said like, hey, I'm shutting my building down for for safety risk. Maybe he thought maybe insurance wise it wouldn't be safe. So he had already said that after Sunday you no longer owe rent, and so he's already said that I won't owe any rent if he decides to keep the building closed until they open it back up. So that's a plus. But what if I want to go to work, honey? What if I want to make a coin? I'm just saying.
I think that's a challenge for a lot of people.
Honey, you guys aren't mandated. You have a choice.
Well, we'll have a choice if Kemp comes back and opens it up.
But at this moment,
I'm thinking
don't have a
Georgia,
choice.
honey. Abbott, well, no, I mean, once the building owner opens it up,
we absolutely cannot work. It's no like we can go in anytime and just open it up and sit somebody down. Do you guys?
Yeah, no, we don't have a choice either.
Once he releases the order, we can go back to work. But what I'm saying is, if the building owner says that he's not opening his building, then and my stuff is in there, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
So that's where we're at with that.
Yeah.
Well, for me personally, for me, the decision to shut down, I always kind of reflect or use the school system here. So Pearson and kindergarten and CPS, like literally, it takes hell and high water for CPS to shut down. And when CPS shut down, it was supposed to be the first order. I'm talking. The first order was for it to remain closed until April, I think it was 20th or 21st. And when they came back, it was like, we're shutting down for the rest of the year. That's when I knew it was super serious, because they literally, like, they'll find any way not to shut the CPS system down, like anything, because in their, I guess, based on the analytics that they have, there are a lot of children who, for them, the best place for them to be any given day of the week is at school. Like, they get meals, people are, attentive to them. School is better than their home. And so they will do anything not to shut the school down. So I knew when they shut the school down for the rest of the year that pretty much, if anything does change course here in Chicago, it won't be until June. I knew that at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if they are opening everything back, say all the states open, but then the childcare isn't opening, the schools aren't opening, well, it'll be summer, right? But like, what are working moms going to do?
That's a good question, because right now, Elisa and I have had several conversations. And one of the conversations, this is early on, she was like, yeah, so there's going to be no day camp. I was like, wait a minute, wait. No day camp? Like, what are we going to do for the summer without day camp?
Right.
What are we going to do with the summer without day camp? Like, how do you work around that? And then with the way, like, we could talk about now, we can't move into the conversation of Georgia opening up. And how do you feel about that? Do you think the opening of Georgia was too soon?
Yes.
I think based on their numbers, it's too soon. I do know that Georgia, for the size of their state and as many people that they have, they've done the least amount of testing. They're actually right up underneath Texas, and we have such a larger state, and we've tested way, way more. So why is your number so close to a state as large as Texas? You know what I'm saying? And then you're deciding to open up that, and they haven't been testing, so it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
And because
go ahead.
And Tiziana is talking about, I'm echoing that Georgia death rate is rising. And so I think it's just premature. And do you think that they're opening because of the protests that have been going on? Is that why?
I think I think political, financial, socioeconomic, like all of that, I think played a part in their decision, but none of it involved the greater health of the of the citizens. Like it was just a total rush. And I honestly think as a hairstylist, like sitting at home, and trust me, I understand what it's like to be without, because I've been without with another human being depending on me. So I totally get why there are some people like, I gotta get back, I gotta, make this money. But did anybody ever consider like the cost associated with returning back to work? The amount of PPE, if there is even any, PPE available, that's going to need to be purchased. How does that impact your profit margins? Because now you have to buy this equipment so that you can protect yourself and protect those who come to your salon, and you're charging the same price. That doesn't even make sense. You're not going to make any money,
right?
Or not make.
And you can't stack your clients. You can't stack your clients. You can't have more than one client there. So how does that work?
I'm a little confused at how people have not had an income. I don't know. Georgia's 2 or 3 weeks, I guess they haven't worked, but I've been over a month. How can people who haven't generated any kind of an income then go and buy the equipment that's needed to run their business? I just don't understand how that makes any sense. And then I feel like they get penalized because now at this point, if they're going to open up Georgia, people now have a choice. They can or cannot open. However, if they are in situations like mine where our rent has been abated, then they can take that away. So now they're responsible. You don't have to work, but you do have to pay rent. Like, how is that even okay to do? That doesn't even, I don't know. It just seems like it gets people more deeper into a hole.
It does.
Yeah, and it also puts you in a situation of liability, because there is not any legal language that has been written that can protect you as a service provider from a client. I mean, let's be real. We live in a litigious society, and so you open yourself up to someone suing you because.
But how could they? I feel like that's bull because they can't prove it.
I mean, even if they can't
prove exactly where you got it from. So if you're going to get to the point where the law gets involved that way, come on with it. Let's see what happens.
True. I'm just saying that when you don't already have the money and now you got to go to court to prove that it didn't happen, that could put you in a position, not saying that they would get it from you, but put you in a position to even have to go into litigation, and litigation would be very pricey. Like, it's a lot of money.
Right. I feel like it'll never come to that because no lawyer is going to take a case they can't prove. They're not going to take a case they don't think they can prove. It's a waste of time. I'd like to see that happen.
Well, currently Walmart is being sued for 2 deaths at their store here in Illinois, in the suburb of Illinois, in Chicago.
Right, but they go every day to work. That's the only place that they go. You don't know where somebody who got COVID came from. They could come to your salon and what? They're going where else? If the state is open, if the city is open, they're going other places. You cannot trace back to where you got it from to go in. That's like saying, oh, I only went to the salon. I didn't go to the grocery store. I didn't go to the gas station. I didn't go any other place where I can catch it. BS. I'm not buying on that one.
So are we going to start operating like doctors' offices where we have waivers, we have paperwork you have to sign? It has to become that transparent as a business owner, but now are we rolling into a different department than what salon owners and barbershops were before? Like, are we
Absolutely.
now, but so,
yeah.
So does
Absolutely.
that mean, so if that's the case, what
a waiver is a way to protect yourself?
Stop throwing.
Because now we have to rewrite all of the things that we have to abide by. We do need lawyers. We do need that stuff.
If that's true. And then who wants to do all of that? Most stylists are free thinkers. They are artists. And one reason why they do hair is because they don't want to live in a box, and they didn't want to work in a corporate office, and they didn't want to do
business. If you're still all of that stuff, no matter how artistic you are, you're still a business. You still need those protections that businesses
The average
need.
stylist
If this is the way that you make your money,
no forms to do hair.
but you can't blame it on the way that stylists are. You have to do what you need to do to take care of your business.
I agree.
And that's where we are right now. You got to do what you have to do.
And with everything changing so drastically all the time, every day is different. Now, I mean, new things are being, so what is, what are the resources that are reliable? Because, someone can just throw a link on their Facebook, and just say, hey guys, this is now what's happening for salon owners. How do we, I'm not a very analytical person like Sonny. I'm more of like, an artist and just I go with what I feel and I just go with that. But as this goes in, we're going to have to become more analytical and more structured. And I don't have that mindset. So it's been hard for me to comprehend these this new information for sure.
So analytical and structural, maybe you can think of it as a different way or just turn things into habits.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a change of perspective and a change of how things are to be done in a more open light. And this is just what you're going to have to do. And I think because we love what we do, our clients are going to be very understanding, but they're going to need time to acclimate as well, because they're going to be coming back into these environments, making sure not only are they safe, but we have to make sure that we're safe against people who we don't know if people can sue you based off of thinking that they got a disease going to, a virus going to your salon and the surviving members are suing you. You don't know their family. So you have to have documents and stuff. And that's it's very stressful, I think, moving forward.
Yeah, you do have to have it.
So what about the hazmat suit that we got to wear to work?
So yeah, I was actually going on my computer here to pull up the health and safety guidelines that Georgia has issued, and it's a 14-page document. Masks, face shields, gloves, capes, staff and customers wearing capes, putting a towel over the person's face while they're at the shampoo bowl. Like it's quite extensive, and as a
it sounds like they're trying to deter people from opening, really, because I think that if you have to go through all that to still protect yourself and protect your clients, then we're not ready.
Right.
I think that's why California is closed. There's no possible way in the state that we're in right now to protect people properly. So why not?
I'm going to block you out real quick, but somebody's asking me to send my child to the room. We are at home. Everybody is coming in live from their home. So you might hear construction noise in the background because somebody's working. Meg might have one of her cats do some acrobatics over her shoulder. If that may occur. Teenage son may come in the room. So I just need to address this because we're at our house.
Mama,
this is where we've been for the last
cook, Mama.
So if you
just lock down,
I'm muting muting my mic. So if you can't pay attention with just listening, then maybe you need to come back at another time.
This is safer at home.
Claire's being a Karen right now. You need to relax, Claire. I'm just gonna say it.
Well, I'm thinking about this hazmat suit that I'm gonna have to put on. I'm already upset because I gotta wear a mask and I can't wear my lipstick. Okay, I'm already upset about it. I love my lipstick. Do you see these lips right now? They are popping, honey. And I got to go out in the summer months. I've been waiting on the sunshine so I could get out here in my shorts with my lips popping, honey. And now I got to go to work and I got to put on a whole goddamn hazmat suit with a mask, with a plastic thing over my head. I mean, I'm gonna look no different than the pictures of the nurses. And so my clients are only connecting with my eyes, while they're getting their hair done. Is that that's what it is now? We gotta wear a full suit to work.
And okay, let's keep this in mind. I'm wearing like a satin robe, which is unbreathable to begin with, right? So let's just picture that's a robe cover on my clothes. I have to wear a mask. You can't even see my mouth So like, God forbid you have a client who has a hearing problem. They can't read your lips. So there's already miscommunication. That's going to run the appointment even longer, right? It's going to cause confusion. And then you have to wear something on your head and a shield. Like, you are going to be so overheated and so exhausted from all of
How
this.
you gonna run your blow dryer and wear all that shit?
I don't know.
Somebody let me know how the blow dryer is gonna go on and you gonna wear all that stuff.
Your electricity
gonna
bill is
happen?
going to be so high because your AC is going to be pumping.
I mean,
the
it
other
definitely
thing
does
too of
make
like,
you-
again, having somebody who is asymptomatic in your chair, you
Right.
got blow dryers going, just like everything stirring up the air. Like I
didn't even think about that. The blow dryer is pushing the virus around. Oh Lord. You just took me, Adriana. You just took me with that. Oh Lord.
So I don't know. I just feel like waiting means that we don't have to go through all of this. Am I being too over optimistic?
I feel like
I don't know.
we can be more creative than this. That is actually better than what they recommend. That's what I think. Because we're all.
So this is where my head is. I'm thinking this is what we have to do now. That this is only temporary. Am I in the wrong state of mind?
Until a vaccine?
We don't know.
Like,
is
this the new normal?
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking like by the time California opens up, I'm not going to have to go through all that. Like Elise says, they have to have like a disposable dress and a face shield and a mask, and then they got to cover their clients' faces with a towel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like that's temporary.
Yeah, Kia in the
I'm
comments.
hoping it's temporary.
Kia writes, she's in the comments, she's a nurse and she does wear all of that. She said it is hot, but it does protect her. But she said she honestly doesn't think this is going to be long term. So, you know, people are, and nurses are going out and wearing that and is protecting them. I guess my, and this is where I feel like I am ignorant. I don't know if what we're going to be doing is as much as a nurse. I don't, that's where I don't understand.
Well, what do you mean as much as a nurse? Because
like,
it's just about the protection.
Well, it is about protection. You know, I think we can control what services we want to offer. You know, we can control how much time we want to spend with clients. And we can do that in the beginning. You know, if maybe we can't do the most 2 to 3 hour services, can we do the 30-minute to 45-minute services that we offer just to get started in the beginning, so it's less time with people? I feel nurses are around an immense amount of people all at once, and I feel like they're going from patient to patient, where we have the control to visit with one person at a time in one space, and we're not talking to an immense amount of people throughout the day, such as doctors, receptionists, emergency, people and whatnot. So I feel like they really need that protection because of how much exposure they have. We are more boutique salons. We don't have a full staff. We're not working with people coming in and out. And so I feel like it's a bit of a different dynamic in my opinion. And so
you think that's over? You think that's too much?
I feel, I don't know. And that's where I feel confused. I actually don't know.
Understandable.
You don't know what is better and what's not. I mean, and I think that's the whole caveat with the whole thing is like it's the unknown. It's all unknown. We're living day to day right now. We're living.
The word is confusion.
Yeah, we don't know what it's gonna feel like to go back to the salon and put on a whole goddamn suit and try to do some hair. Like, do we have some models we can pull it? You know, like when we want to test any services, don't we have a model? Can we bring models in? Can we bring in models and put on our suits, right? And then test and see if this is gonna work. Does anybody want to buy? Hey, anybody that's watching that's my client, I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm doing a model call I'm doing a model call to do the test to see if it's even workable to put all that shit on and work. I mean, really? We're gonna have to do model calls. I'm just saying, because you're gonna have to test it out. You can use Pierce, Aisha. Actually, I'm gonna put my suit on.
I'll probably use Pierce. He's a distraction. He's a distraction, so I shouldn't use him.
I'll use my son. I'll twist his hair down or something, and I'm gonna see how hot I get while I'm twisting his dreads down. while I got all this shit on. Like, come on now. And so let's talk about. Can we talk about what else can we do besides be behind the chair at this point?
That's a great segue, actually, because this actually, I think the corona exposed where the industry has some weaknesses as far as being fully dependent on working behind the chair. There's going to come a day where all of us are not going to want to work behind a chair anymore. We're over clients. We're over clients. We're over standing up. We're over having to schedule and all the things that go along with it. Just because at some point people do get exhausted, or it's ran its course. And so I do know that what I do know about the stylists that I have had the opportunity to meet, y'all included, there are other things that you guys are interested in. And this is funny that you even brought this up, because yesterday I was having a conversation with my assistant Andra, and I was saying that everybody needs to tap into their area of genius, because we all have something that we are just so dope at, and it's beyond hair. Or outside of hair, or with hair included, there is a zone of genius that we all have. And so all of us, and those of you who are watching, like, this is a prime time while we're all at home going through our, the 12 stages of anger? Because we all have been. Listen, I'm not through it yet, man. Ladies on this Marco Polo, like, the first week was like, hey guys, on my list today. And then around week 2 or 3, people be gone missing for like 3 or 4 days, and they return back like from the bed looking dusty. Like, I'm not feeling good. Like, we've all gone through these emotions of how we feel about what's going on, because there's a lot to digest in between, like your salon not being opening, but all this cooking. I'm tired of doing dishes.
Oh Lord, them dishes, honey. Them dishes take me every day.
I actually learned I'm a terrible cook.
Can you please pick up a paper plate?
Right. So now is the time to tap into that genius. I love this, that I saw that people are already thinking about, like, how are they going to return back to the salon? But even doing dry cuts, like those new clients, for a lot of us, those new client services are very different. And those people cannot show up to our salons to get a dry cut off the street.
They need the works right now. Everybody needs the works. They're coming in the gate. Everybody needs the full gambit of services.
The coily,
and that's longer. Yeah,
that's longer than a 30 to 45 minute appointment, right?
Yeah. And that's so.
Are we charging more now for services? I'm all for charging more.
Yeah,
I definitely think it does change the way we do business. Especially when we're still like, there's this piece like, okay, cool, I am ready to at some point go back, but what does going back look like? But in the meantime, what again, like you said earlier, what else beyond behind the chair, like, could you do? Are you guys doing anything right now that is like associated with maybe hair, or maybe something else that doesn't require being behind the chair? Have you all started anything?
I'm making my mask. Put my mask on. Show the people my mask.
Oh yeah, hold on, I gotta go get it.
Hold on, I got a model real quick.
I never got my mask.
You haven't gotten it, Ronnie?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check your tracking and see where it's at. But I actually started making masks. I'm a person that likes to service people. Anything I do, I want it to be in service of others. And so I was like, okay, what is something that people need? I was like, I got to figure out something that people need. And I was like, well, if everybody is, come on, you know what? Oh, single tear, yes. Come on, man.
My glasses are fogging. This is really hard.
I know. That's
okay. Well, this is what you gotta do. No, put your glasses outside, like cup it up and put your glasses outside your mask. I had to do this the other day.
Hold on, let me get mine.
Is that a little bit better?
A little
Just a little
bit, but I think I'm gonna like asphyxiate under here.
Mhm.
But anyway, so like
Oh, look at Pierce!
yes, little Pierce. So I actually have had that sewing machine. My mother bought me that sewing machine like 2 years ago for Christmas. Never opened the box, never used it, nothing. It's just been sitting there. And so I was like, and not that I even knew really how to sew. I mean, this was like really a shot in the dark. And I've gotten better at it, and I actually like enjoy it. It's very relaxing. It gives me something to do daily. So I now, because it fulfilled a purpose for me, and I've been much happier in my home since then. I'm also, tapping in, and that also in it, like Aisha has been on me about 2 years about, hey, you need to be selling something on this website. I don't care if it's a digital product, you need to be doing something. And I've been like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do it. And so, and I think a part of it was fear, fear of the unknown, fear of not knowing kind of how to do it or put it together. But in this space, I didn't have shit else to do. And what a better time to risk it all. So I just was like, fuck it. I'm going to have these masks. I made some test runs and I threw them hoes up. I ain't even had no good pictures. I ain't had nothing. I just threw them up and said, let's see what it do. And shockingly enough, people have been very supportive. I've been super busy. So, and then that's even opened up my mind more to, okay, what else could I be doing? Could I be drop shipping? Could I be I'm finally going to do, like I've been talking about this ebook. Now I'm working on my ebook again and coming out with digital products and stuff like that. So it's helped me in that regard. And now I will let somebody else speak. Go ahead.
Funny, it's so funny. I think for me, it's been really about upping what I did in November. I came out with my Curls Hold Magic Blueprint online course, which is basically a virtual guide on how to do wash and goes. But now it's like, how can I incorporate that when I do go into the salon as well? And I was thinking, for those new clients who want to work with me, they have to be a member of that group, and they have to utilize that membership and those techniques and everything else like that before they make an appointment. So it's like, it's a 2-part implementation on how to get into my chair. I think it's really important for my business to be virtual and hands-on, mostly because I thrive in hands-on because I keep learning and I don't want to stop learning. But the virtual, I really love the videos, the video consultations I've been offering with my members in the group already. And also people from across the world have just been wanting to know, like, what product should I be using? And so I created more of a virtual service where they get on camera with me and we talk. And it has not been as hard as I thought it was going to be, right? Because usually I try to answer questions when I can feel the hair. But what's been really enlightening is that one of the requests is you have to send me photos of your hair. And I've had women literally send me a Google link to 50 some odd photos of their hair. And I've been able to see the evolution of their hair and to see how much their hair is transformed being in my membership. And it's given me more perspective this way than being at the salon, because usually they're trying to use their words to explain everything and I don't really have a clear image of what that looks like. So these pictures and this virtual interaction has actually been much more intimate, less distracting, because there's no other clients in the salon. There's nothing else happening. So they've had my full on attention. I think the virtual consultations are actually more progressive for clients than in person, which is something that I've gotten a lot of feedback about, because usually there's someone coming in for retail or the phone's ringing or my assistant just fucked up on something and I'm like pissed at her. You know what I mean? So it's actually been really innovative for me to bring those videos onto my website, and has actually financially been able to support my business much more than I realized, that I was actually able to pay rent for this month that I'm still stuck paying for my landlord, because my landlord doesn't care. You know, he doesn't care that I'm not making any money or I don't have clients coming in. He cares about his family and what's going on with him. So, you know, there was no negotiation. So I am paying rent for a space that I'm not using. So I feel like this is a positive change. And it's also helped me like learn how to cook more, but I really suck at cooking. So I'm like not going to pretend like I'm having my own cooking channel at some point. Like I thought I was one day. I really don't make great food.
Yeah, that carrot bacon.
Yeah, that did not work.
It was a no.
I saw do that.
She was so excited about it. Soy sauce on, or whatever, liquid smoke on it. It's gonna be awesome.
No,
I
She tasted it.
I saw where she got that recipe from, and I mean, I don't know. I'm still not sure, bacon or not.
Someone just posted it.
Yeah, it's either bacon or it's like vegetables with stuff on it.
Yeah, one of the vegan stylists that I know, she posted on her page. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna try this," and I wrote, "It's a no." Like it's just, and they were like, "Why?" And I was like, "It's just a no. Like, don't do it. Don't hurt yourself." I don't know. Yeah.
So we're not down wearing all this protective gear to go back to the salon. Basically, is what y'all saying. Y'all don't want
to. I have tried wearing just a mask for about 4 hours, and you know what? We had this whole discussion about what happened. It's hot. It's not. I can't wearing all that stuff at the same time, working on people constantly, one after the other. I'm not understanding how that's even going to work. The other problem that I really have with that is that we're in a business where touch and other nuances are very important, and it's one of the main reasons why people come to the salon. It's also related to what I'm about to say, is related to what we were just talking about as far as like other streams of income. You know, it's like I'm planning to go digital. I'm a teacher. I've always been a teacher. I've been doing this for 20 something years, but there's still that need for me to have some kind of touch and some kind of contact. And we know that people can get a lot from some digital learning, but there still has to be some kind of personal contact, involved. So my problem with the gear, it has a lot to do with that. I mean, my clients are we're touchy-feely, and some people just come to the salon just to be touched. And that takes a lot of it takes the experience away from what people really want and really need when they come to the salon. I'm having some problems dealing with that right there in and of itself.
I'm with you on that, Ronnie. You're right. Like a lot of people come to the salon to get that like one-on-one touch experience, and I feel like not being able to deliver that kind of takes away from the overall experience. But at the same time, like people need to get their hair, people need to get their hair done. And like, I'm very much a touch person. I love my job. I love my clients and doing what I do. And I resist technology so much. Meg and I argue all the time. She's like, get online.
I love my clients. I miss them. I want to get back into the salon so bad, but safety first.
Yeah, I think we can definitely still have our clientele and we can still offer a service. It may be a little shortened right now for a short amount of time, and it's all temporary. But if stylists can offer something virtual, then you can make passive income when you're not in the salon, because right now, stylists, we have to be there in order to make money. And at some point, aren't you guys just getting tired of always having to be there like all the time to make money? Wouldn't it be nice if maybe a few video series make you some income, and then you can also
Meg, I'm not saying completely don't do that. I'm just saying that it needs to be a balance, because you can't give somebody just hair virtually or digitally without having another component to that, which has to do with touch. And then sometimes, I mean, you can give people things digitally, but I get people from the digital salon all the time. They just needed a few tweaks that they weren't going to get from anything other than a stylist.
Correct. I totally agree with you.
I feel so much, like so many aha moments, and like my money piece or like my like killer is like that in salon appointment where I'm with the customer and I'm like, okay, feel this, touch this, feel for this. Okay, this is how like my appointment is so hands-on that I really like, I feel like it's really hard to try to translate that to digital. And I don't know, like us, again, just like you, Ronnie, like a lot of my clients come from other like online platforms. And then when they come in, they're like, oh,
yeah. That's aha moments these people have are like, yeah. And it makes all the difference later on.
It does. It does.
So I think those things should be supplemental.
Right.
No, and I totally agree. There are things, and we're all saying the same things. It's just that they heard it, that one little piece, this one time while they were having this face-to-face interaction with someone, and it make more sense. So yes, they both play on each other. But in a time right now when there is no ability to touch anybody, where there is this time where we literally cannot be in, like, for those of you who are in suite spaces that you can't be in your space. Like, I can go to my space.
Right. Now there's definitely, I've seen a benefit. I've had several people reach out and ask for help. And there has definitely been a benefit to being able to help them out virtually, which has made me now, really work a little bit harder on getting more out there for the people that need help, that can't come to the salon. So yeah, there's definitely a benefit to that. It's not something that, I would not do.
Because Ronnie, you definitely have a wide influence. Oh, sorry, we're all talking.
Maybe she's to go. All she got to do is open up that box, that Pandora's box, and let it go, honey. Open up the box. We're ready.
My problem is I have so much information. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. Ronnie, whatever you put out there, I'm buying it. So you have a purchase right here.
That sounds like, open up the box.
Yeah.
Pick one subject and open the box up on that one subject. I mean, as much information you have, I mean, you could write an encyclopedia about hair. We'll just start with letter A, and we're gonna work our way. Okay, and so you have the encyclopedia in your brain.
Yeah.
So
I need the situation to bring it out.
Come on, Ronnie. They're pumping you up in the comments.
I know. It's coming.
Look at all your fans. You have such a good following, Ronnie. Whatever you do, you'll have so much support. And then I'll be calling you and be like, "How'd you do that?"
You guys got a lease on me now.
Yes, because we're waiting. The world is waiting on Ronnie to come on with it.
Listen, it's actually finally coming together in my brain. It's gonna happen. It's coming. It's coming.
Can we get it on paper or in some type of digital form?
KVK says, Ronnie, close your eyes and throw a dart.
This is an ongoing conversation, by the way. So, like, that's why I'm mute, because I'm like, we have this conversation all the time.
All the time. I know.
We do.
I know.
Are in their head. That's what I have learned from working with hairstylists, is that we spend too much time in our heads. Between me and Elise, I am the person who does the most, and Elise is the easy button. I have a relationship. But what I have to say is, like, again, for the stylists out there who are like second guessing, like everybody said here, just choose a thing, and that thing will lead you to everything else you need to know, because you're trying to map things out before you even know what's about to unfold before your eyes. You won't know what's actually going to unfold.
Y'all got everybody on my case right now.
But that's what you needed.
Yeah.
Listen, I actually have something that's happening. It's happening. So I finally figured out how I want to start it and what I want to do.
Okay, and everything at the end of the day, execution. So it's got to be executed. Whatever it is,
Execution, I know.
Elise says mapping happens last.
It just needs to
Okay.
be.
Oh, mapping. Well, thank you, Elise. You know what? I think that may have been my difficulty right there. I was trying to map it. I've been trying to map it in my head.
Yeah, that definitely. You have to collect. Everything. Listen to this, because this is how we actually operate. Everything's a beta. Everything we do is an initial beta. Yep. We throw something out there, we throw the kitchen sink at it, and then we go back and we start to peel back what is not working, what actually works, and then continue to fine tune. For us, the digital salon, that took 2.5 years. That took 2.5 years for us to actually get it to be perfect. And it's still not quite perfect, but it's close to perfect as it's going to be right now. But that took 2.5 years for that to actually happen. We're still perfecting things and pivot. So we're still perfecting things as far as our professional side goes. We're still perfecting things over there. So we're continually pivoting when we need to make things, the experience more or make it better for those who participate in the experience. So put that thing out there and let your consumer, your client, whoever it is that you're selling to, let them decide for you what it is you need to fix. Because they're gonna tell you like, so could you give me like 5 more videos of that one? You're like, True. See about the 5 videos, but I can definitely give you 1 video to explain all of those things that you missed in that one. So be open to beta testing and be open to fine tuning, but don't try to be perfect by trying to like put everything together all at one time. Even when you put together furniture, there's pieces you have to put together before you even get to certain. It's always like this one.
This is what really happens to me. It's not really about being perfect. It's like what order does it happen in? What happens is like you guys always ask questions and we have these conversations and bam, I could pull it out. And and I could write a whole book on that one little thing and then it's gone, so I don't know. It happens. I didn't even know I had all this information until somebody needed it.
Right.
So then putting it into something, I'm like, how you do that? Like
maybe you need to journal.
I just feel like if I start throwing stuff out there, it's not going to have any order to it.
Or even doing a survey, babe. Like do a survey and be like, what's your burning question? Like, what do you, and then from there kind of build on, what people need answers to.
Right. And the other part is y'all got to sit down and do it. I know the
That's
two of
what it
you
comes down to.
Yes.
Sonny and Ronnie over there. Neither one of these people like to sit down, and doing these types of projects require you to sit the fuck down.
I want somebody to put out my head and put it down there.
The thing yesterday, and it was a daunting process, honey, to just even put it together. And I haven't even edited it yet. Like we haven't got to the edit phase of it yet. I know one thing that really helped me. I don't know if anybody else followed. I got this person from Good Meg. Meg went viral on the post with Gary V, honey. And so when I saw her with Gary V, I started following him, and I've been following.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yep, she froze.
We lost her.
She'll be back. It'll recalibrate, I think. We'll give her.
Okay, so I got it. Execution. I got it.
Yeah. It's just an execution. Just do something. Like do one thing, and you want to do that one thing, and you want to do it like until the wheels fall off of it. Like honestly, we're doing one thing all the time, but it looks like a lot of different things because of the way that we're presented it. Because the people who keep doing stuff and keep doing stuff and keep doing stuff, then they don't have to do as much work because they've done all the things. They just have to take the stuff they've already done and repurpose that information or whatever that medium was to present it to everybody else. So the thing is, like, for all hairstylists out there, like, get out of your way, get out of your head, and go sit the fuck down. Like y'all gotta sit down at these laptops, go to a coffee shop. Y'all have to sit down.
Yeah, gotta
You know,
that's the other thing. Yes, I have to get away. I have turned my
now you
car
gotta sit
into
at
office
your kitchen
now.
table. Sit at your kitchen table and make this stuff. I mean, I'm on my sofa most of the time doing stuff. And the hard part for me right now, as y'all can see, I'm also managing a 5-year-old who sometimes wants me to engage with him throughout the day because he needs his mom time. But I'm also right now, and I didn't say this earlier, but right now I'm actually in a fitness challenge. I am in an online course, and then I am still managing 2 communities and social media. I don't really know how I do any of the stuff I do all the time. I do my best, and some days I drop the ball with some things, and other days I'm killing the game. So you're not going to be perfect all the time, but if you can get something together so you can at least put it out there, and then you work on the other part, which is the marketing. Honestly, of all the things, the marketing is the hardest thing. Putting it together, easy. Marketing, another story. But when you already have a very vested audience, then you have people waiting. They're just like, when are you? I'm just waiting for you to give me something so I can buy it from you.
You would be. I don't even want to tell you how many people every day ask me that since we've been on quarantine.
Yeah, because they have first of all, there are still this narrative of people not having money right now is a lie. There are some people, that are not working, but there are a ton of people who work and who are still getting paid, who are loaded right now. I was talking to my
let Sonny in. Sonny said let her in.
Okay, my girlfriend's husband, and he was sitting on Marco Polo with us. He goes, "Oh, I just got paid again, but I feel like I just got paid like 2 weeks ago." Folks are loaded. They can't go to the restaurant. They can't do all the frivolous things they like to do. All we're spending money on is groceries, maybe occasional takeout, and some internet shopping. So people have money to spend, and they sit at home with it, waiting to spend it somewhere of value to them.
They are. Sonny, you got cut off. We lost you.
Okay, so what I was saying was, I heard the part where I was saying that I heard about Gary Vee from Meg, right? I heard that. So I've been following him ever since. And one thing he consistently always talks with people about is like getting out of their own way. And so I'm always inspired by him. And he's always talking about just throw that shit up there. He was like, I don't give a fuck what it looks like. You know, that's how he talks. He's like, I don't give a fuck what it looks like. Throw the shit up there and see what happens. And so I guess, you know, and I even learned that with me doing the math. I don't fucking, you know, that's way out of my lane. But you know what? I just threw the shit up there, and then when it just clicked. And, you know, I'm blessed to have a following. I'm blessed to have people that support me. That is a blessing. I know that everybody doesn't have that, but, you know, those followers, they didn't come out of nowhere. I had to build that. So, and so I just threw it out there and it clicked. And then, and even through that, the light bulb came on. I was like, oh, I can do this. This is attainable now. And it's not as hard as I have built it up in my mind, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to look a certain way. I just do that, and as I progress through it, of course, it's gonna get better and it's gonna look better. But as of right now, it's quarantine. I'm thugging it. Right. So what you get is what you get. And I think we're in the streets right now. I'm in the streets. I'm hustling.
Ronnie, I want to remind you too. You have an outlet. You have a community. You have a bunch of stylists that have done either the whole thing or little bits of the thing. And, you know, you can always reach out and just ask a question to just help you get through the roadblock. You have support. And I think that is something I really want to.
You know, that's not really my block. My problem is just doing it.
Well, we all have blocks.
I just really like to sit around and do nothing.
That's okay.
But yeah,
Well,
it's
you
just
know, Ronnie,
really enjoy
Ronnie
doing it.
is a background. She's funny this way because she knows everything. But even when we do classes and stuff, Ronnie's she's just gonna slide in like a ghost. She's gonna slide in and drop her
And then
jewels
drop
and
some
she's gonna slide
bombs.
back out.
I just wait
She
for
just
where
she just drops
something is
in
needed.
and then she drops back out. Like she's like, I'm here, y'all, but I'm in the background and I jump in when I got something to say, I have something to say, but then I'm gonna finna fall back. And that's really her
She drops some
personality.
bombs that is like a fog
Yeah.
light, like
Wherever
lighting up
something
Gotham
out like
City, like kind of light bulb moments. And then she's like, okay, I'm just sitting over here on the couch.
Yeah, I think Ronnie needs a scribe. She needs a scribe. She needs somebody to follow her around constantly all during the day that just writes down
she
everything
said that.
she says. And then
She told me that's what she needs, but you got to first
she
make
needs
the
a
money.
scribe. Yeah,
Right.
she has somebody. She needs a reporter
Right.
to sit there and type everything she
Right.
says, and then we can
gotta-
just take
gotta
the jewels out and package them. Right?
She
Right.
gotta hire her a scribe
She just
first.
needs
but
to have
she gotta
voice
make some money
memo on
to
her
hire the
phone
scribe.
on all the time.
Look, I love how you guys just know exactly what I need. You're hired.
Right. I told her that. I was like, that's cool and that's cute that you need that person, but you don't have to be that person until you can pay that person to do that job. I'm all for outsourcing. I think outsourcing is amazing. But you know, you gotta have the funds to outsource people because people want to be paid what they're worth for, you know, whatever it is that you hire them to do. So you got to have that coin for them. And you got to make sure that when you do outsource that person is really providing a task or they're providing something to you that you really they're killing it. Like there's no way you could do it any better, and they're way better than you. It has to be worth it.
I have a question, guys. So we're talking about. So now
I got it. Okay, I got it. Now you guys got me pumped. I'm ready.
We're talking about that's talking about like assistants. So I had this idea the other day. So when we talk about assistants, you got you know, a lot of times it's girls fresh out of hair school. Are the hair schools still open or are they closed? And what happens with the girls that are out there in the world? Are the hair schools still open? Are we still getting licensed to do hair in the pandemic? Like, are they going to online classes? Are they going to?
Interesting.
I think they're online. A school called me and asked me to do a class for them online. So I think they're online.
Some of them.
Okay.
Some of them.
But
you know what? You're right. The private schools, maybe not, because this is one of the public schools here. So.
Okay. So like I said, so there's a plethora of young stylists that are hungry out there. So are we bringing them in as assistants now because they can't go to school? I don't know. It's just a question. I'm throwing it out there.
Some people are responding. They're closed in Oklahoma. Ohio is doing virtual learning. Some are saying virtual in Texas. So some are closed. Some are pivoting to virtual.
Well, you know, Sonny, to answer your question, out here in California, you have a choice of you can go to school or you can do a apprenticeship. However, to do the apprenticeship, like if somebody wanted to be an apprentice under me, I have to have all the, I don't know, some kind of stuff from the
license. You probably need like an educator's license.
Yeah, you don't have to be licensed for it, but I just have to make sure that person is doing all, because they still have to take the test. So it's my responsibility to make sure that they're prepared.
You're covering the content that they're going to be tested on.
Exactly.
Okay. So I was wondering, because I was like, well, am I going to need an assistant when I go back? And like, so am I getting one of those girls who are going to virtual school now? I don't know. Like, how do you get virtual hours in cosmetology school? How does that work? I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, well, you know, that's an interesting question.
Like, you need clinical hours for hair school, right?
This is all temporary, though, right? We're talking like this is going to be forever, ever.
This is going to be a while.
But even for
it'll be a while.
The question about operating with an assistant, like, because I have the space. I mean, I have my shop You know, you can kind of see behind me, I have, oh wait, wrong way. I can never play video games because I can never figure out which side is left and right. But I have a decent sized space where usually I work with an assistant and I'll have one person in one chair and then one person getting rinsed and then like one person going to the dryer, and I'm constantly rotating like that. And I do have the space to double book with my assistant. But the question is, once we are allowed to open, like, can I do that? Should I do that? As long as there, you know, there's a chair in between them, is it okay? Or is it just one person in the building? I don't know. So even to your question, Sonny, of like working with an assistant, it's like, but can we? That's more bodies in the space. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that you're right. That's it. That's hey. You're right. And I'm in a suite, so like it's small in there. And I actually have a double suite, so it's smaller. I don't have as much space as you have, so that is somebody in there sucking up air, and we don't know where they've been before they came to work. So
and you got that blow dryer.
And we blowing the corona around the room now. I'm too good. You took me out with that, Adriana.
But what about color too? I mean, I know like Aisha and Meg just do hair cutting in their salons, but we all do color. So it's like, all right, when you have somebody with color, you know, you have to rinse that out. You can't necessarily send them home with it on their head because you got to check it. You got to rinse things at different times or what have you. Or are we shortening our service menu to like literally gray coverage and haircuts?
I think that's
you know, and can we rinse people out? Like, I don't. That's the kind of shit that I'm.
We normally use processing time to start somebody else. That's normally while they're processing. We're already working on the next client.
Yeah, because otherwise you're sitting down. You can't do anything. It's dead time.
I have a feeling that color chemical will kill corona.
Everybody's got retouching.
The color is gonna kill corona. At least
color kills corona.
It won't be on their scalp. It won't.
There's a stylist out there that says she's gonna send people home with their color and they're gonna have to wash it off.
I feel like that's a liability. I mean, I've already turned a couple people down who wanted me to mix their color formulas for them because my insurance, I mean, it's a professional product and my insurance won't cover me if I give them my formula for them to do themselves. So I would not trust sending somebody home with color on their head.
Me neither.
Oh my God. And then what if their car gets stained and you're responsible for the car? Like there's so many, no.
And then
so many things.
Toning because a lot of them need to be toned.
Yeah.
I just figure
you can't just send someone out.
No.
I know.
They go home wet.
So that brings up the same question. Like, if you're going to have to do something like go one-on-one, then you're probably going to want another stream of income, which, you know, the supplemental virtual income comes in. Because those things are their issues.
We have to have more than one source of income in the hair industry. As of April, what is today? The 25th, 2020. You have to have more than one source of income in the hair industry, and it will have to be somewhat, I guess, digitally related in some way. Yep. Yes, that's the new normal.
I think that's.
I mean, it doesn't.
I got into hair because
I don't know. Maybe you come out with some type of product. I'm not saying hair product, but maybe I don't know, a makeup line. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a digital. It can be there. So I'll tell you guys. I'll drop this for you guys. There is a young lady by the name of Alex Wolf. She is on Instagram as Alex Wolf, and she is I don't know if she's 30 years old, but she's dope as hell, and she studies. She has studied a page and garnered this huge audience, and she found a way to monetize the audience that she had. So anyway, she has a different product she sells for like $10, and it's like 100 ways that you can monetize. 100. out of those 100 ways, you find something that works for you. And I bought it, and I have her book. She has a book, and it's called Resonate. She's really deep into like understanding how social media works and how we utilize social media just in life and in business. And what I do absolutely love about her, she's a creative first who also studies business. And so for those of us, we're creatives who also are in business. And I know a lot of people don't think about it that way, but that's what it really is. And so her main objective is for creatives to be able to make money. Like she works with a lot of artists. Like how do artists sustain when they aren't, you know what I'm saying? They're doing it for the art, but that art still is a business. And so the same can be said about here. I know people, it's funny because whenever I watch, oh, that's awesome. Whenever I'm watching stuff. Okay, whenever I'm watching stuff about what from hairstylists, I'll be like, oh my, you know, I wanted to be a hairstylist since I was 2, and I love to do hair. And I'm like, that's cool, but this is still a business. You did an amazing job. This is a business first. It's always a business. Yeah, go watch it. This is a business first. Even if it's a hobby, it's still a business, and it needs to be profitable. You should be able to live and make a sustainable income off of it, regardless. But I go follow, or at least follow her. Go to her website. That 100 ways you can make money. It's a great tool to use just to get some ideas about how you could possibly make money out. That's her. That's her.
Mm-hmm.
That's her. I think she is young. She's a young genius. I know people don't like to listen to. She's a person that has a lot to say, and she views the world a totally different.
I think we lost her.
No,
We did.
She's talking.
No, I think
Oh,
she had to
muted.
get them together real quick. She had to get
Get the mute.
together, honey.
Get the mute the boy out.
Did you ask me a question? I'm sorry.
Oh no, we were waiting for you to finish. You were gone.
Oh, okay. No, she's a young person that you definitely should follow. So her name is Alex Wolf. Alex Wolf, that's her name on Instagram. And she also has a website. I would encourage y'all to at least buy her, 100 ways to monetize. Anything to get your creative juices flowing, or just even gives you some insight or some ideas if that's something you're interested in.
I'm definitely gonna do that after this call, because I got into hair because I like, oh, you don't have to do computers, you don't have to do all that stuff, you just get to be like one-on-one with people and like work with your hands. So all of this like digital stuff is a little daunting for me.
It is.
I think a lot of stylists feel that way. As a rule, it's like we're stylists are connected to so many people, right, in your community, right? But I don't think a lot of us are like, well, I'm already connected to so many people, why do I need to now like add on top of all those people in the digital space? You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times I think you've been talking to people all day long. You've been pouring out your energy to people all day long. The last thing you want to do when you get home is get on your goddamn phone and start talking about hair or doing something digitally to work on your business on that phone. You just want to, like, I think you're so exhausted. You just want to check the fuck out. And so
For sure.
the benefit now is that you're not exhausted. You should have all the energy. You should be ready.
You know what it is for me? It's like a second job.
It's a whole job. It is.
Yeah.
Instagram is
doing
a whole job.
my dream. I'm living the dream. I'm doing what I love, and now I have a whole nother job. So it's taken me a while to really embrace it, because I didn't want to do it. Now it's no big deal. But it's like a second damn job. It's a lot of work. I see the people
actually. No. Well, I mean, as somebody who does it,
I feel like I have to see because you don't spend the time that I spend in the salon.
But this is what
So
I'm about to
I have
tell
to-
you. You would have to you will pull back on the amount of time you work in the salon to then give an extra day to that digital product that you are basically marketing. So and that product actually takes up and makes more, can possibly and potentially make more money than a day in the salon that you thought you missed. So it will change the way you do your business in a sense of like, I mean, I'm sure at some point, like the goal for me is to train up some other people because
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, right, I get that. But what I'm saying is that I have for 25 years done it this way. Now I've got to switch over and do something else. It's like a second job for me because it's something that I haven't done for 20 something fucking years. So I don't want to do it. Not that I can't. I mean, I'm much more.
Ronnie, babe, I'm with you.
I don't know. I worked 2 jobs before, and this is nothing like the 2 jobs that I work because I don't have to go somewhere else to go to the other job. The other job,
it's something else that I don't want to do, but I have to do. To me, that's another job.
Then if that's the case, so and we talk about this in the mastermind over at Cut It Kinky, you're going to have to tap into your ATM, your attention, your time, and your money. What do you want to
I know this. I mean, I'm saying I'm there, but it's still, to me, it's like it's taking something that I don't want to do. I have to do it. There's no way around it, but I don't have to like it. It's not.
You're going to have to like it. You're going to have to like it to want to do it. To be
I think the part of it is I think she needs to see the financial gains from it. Because I can tell you, honey, I have been that same way. But baby, when this little phone pings in and some money done dropped in this account, I get excited. I be like, oh, I didn't do nothing. Like,
look, I've got other streams of income that aren't related to hair that I love the money from. I don't want to get into like real estate. It's not my thing. I know I've been around long enough to know what I love, and the benefits of it. It's temporary. It's not. I love money and I like nice shit. But I have to weigh the cost, and it's not that I'm not gonna do it. But I'm at a place right now where I really hate this shit.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. I hate it.
I can relate to that.
Because I know that it's important and it keeps me in the business that I want to be in.
I can really relate to you, Ronnie. When I made my course, I hated every second about it. I really did. I hated it up until until this happened. I hated needing to be available. I hated putting my face out there, talking to people. I didn't even want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to make something, and now you got the thing, and now leave me alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
and I think it's a need. It's a need to do it that makes me do it. It makes me want to do it. But I'm honest to God, I don't like it.
No, I appreciate it.
Look at the comments over here. You're not the only one that doesn't like it.
Right. They don't like it either. I honestly hate this shit. There's a need for it, but I honestly don't love it. I don't love it.
Right.
I respect where you guys are coming from with that. That's why like you have to still like tap back to like the things that you actually enjoy and figure out how what you enjoy can like how that can all come together. That one thing that you don't want to do. Maybe the thing about it is a thing that you then, I don't know, if you can afford. That's the thing, like this outsourcing costs money, money that you haven't yet to even make. To even outsource, and that's what we want our basic as hell. Basic would be putting together an ebook or putting together a short course. That's very basic to do. It just takes time to actually put the content together. But if you if you get an outline just like you would with the book, there's nothing to it. Now, as far as putting your face out there at this point in the game, and I'm giving everybody, not just y'all, I'm giving y'all some free stuff. People are not buying things and stuff. They're buying the people who are selling the things and stuff. That's who they're buying. They don't care about anything. Well, they care about the other stuff, but part of it is that they are buying into the person. And in some aspects right now, because we can't be in the salon, now we have everybody selling lifestyle. I done seen so many stylists create some new shit over the past 2 weeks. Like they done created new Instagram pages. They done changed the way they do their Instagram. They done got new Instagram names. And these last few weeks, because now the conversation is not all about hair. Like we can't talk about hair 24/7. But we never should have just always been talking about hair, because there's more to us than the part about hair. Like some of us love going on, vacation.
Okay, so this is where I am now. Since you said that, this is where I am now. So I know that I hate doing this crap, right? But I know that if I find something that I like, that I can, build into it. And that's where I am. I've really sat and seriously thought about this, and I'm onto something. I just haven't said what it is. But, I'm trying to find something that I want to do with something that I don't like to do. It'll just make it better. That's where my head is. That's the only way I can think about it. So yeah,
because sometimes a lot of us don't don't realize is that we need somebody else to bounce it off of, just so we can hear ourselves saying it, and then for that person to then meet your objections, because a lot of times we have objections before we even get started on a thing.
Right.
So make sure you at least share in a polo about what you have in mind, if you're comfortable, so that you can have somebody else to bounce it off of. Because promise you, I come up with stuff and I'll be like, "Ooh, this, I don't know," and then I just share it, and then I figure out it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, and the other person actually,
yeah, I get it, and it's not that I'm not going to do it, Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see what everybody does come out with when the time is right for everybody who is doing something new, and I think it's. Only time will tell. I think that in the next 5 years, everything is going to look very different. And I mean, I think
different now, Meg.
but past what I even can imagine, I think.
Okay.
I think it's going to be really cool to see how creative this industry is. And we're hairstylists, you can't put us in a box.
No, you can't.
Stylists, but
we put ourselves in a box, because we say, "Oh, well, this is what I've been doing for, umpteen years, and I just don't want to come out of that." We are light years behind light years behind as an industry. Technology is way more far advanced than the way we're actually doing business currently. And I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about overarching in the entire industry. Y'all, a lot of people probably don't even know the technology that I'm using or using for us to even be on here between 2 different platforms. We're on Facebook and on YouTube at the same time, and all 5 of us in the screen. This is very challenging interface to find on the out there as a platform. It's hard to find platforms like that can support this kind of stuff outside of Zoom. I didn't do Zoom. I know Zoom is so popular and hot right now. It is only
Riley and what's the baby's name? Ben Babyface about technology, so they could have got themselves together. Okay.
Oh my God, that was such a mess.
Baby, I could have set their whole little situation up. They had no business.
You could have put them together, honey, because they were not ready. Okay?
That was not for Instagram. That was not for Instagram.
It was not.
Yeah, Elise said she said a lot of times through the process she was not writing a book. I told her probably about a year after we started. I was like, it was maybe 8 months after. I was like, at some point we're gonna have to write a book. She's like, I am not writing a book. And I was like, we have to write a book. And then we got to a point where we just got really tired, and she was like,
keeps me motivated is every time Elise says no and she ends up saying yes, then I'm like, okay, then there's hope for me too. Every time I gotta keep working on it. And it's yes. I'm like, all right, I can do this.
Nope, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I gotta work on. I gotta work on y'all, because I have to sell these ideas a lot of time to Elise, because she's not always on board with some of the things that I come up with. I'm probably the one that's extra of the group, and so when I come up with something, she's like, and especially if she doesn't get or understand it, she's like, I guess And then when I start explaining and it gets a little deep, she's like, okay, that makes sense. And I'm like, girl, trust me, we've trusted each other this far. And I say the same, trust yourself and trust your gut. And don't worry. Here's the thing. You spend $0 on something and it makes $0. What have you lost? Okay, some time.
Right.
It gave you time to then go back and make some edits, because those small little edits is what changes the game. It's the small, I promise you, it's the small edits that do.
And that's why I love Gary Vee so much, because he talks about failing all the time. He's like, I don't care much about success as I do about failing, because if I'm failing more, then I'm actually like, I'm killing it right now. And he's really helped me, because I never wanted to be wrong in anything. I don't like being wrong. I suck at grammar. I suck at a lot of things. I do. And I used to feel
really.
I used to be really hard on myself, and now I'm like, fuck it. It didn't work. Okay, let's find out what does work about it. Like, it's more creative and fun now. And yeah, there's days where I don't want to deal with it. And then I deal with it on the days that I deal with it. There's no one hovering over me saying, you have to get this done now, because I am my own person. And when I do get it done, I get it done. And I've thrown out perfectionism because of Gary Vee. And he really has been a mentor for me, because he's allowed fucking up and being wrong and not being successful to be like the way to look at life. So then you are successful when you do fail. It's not as hard as it was listening to all the people who say to be successful is this. So I really appreciate him on a daily. I think I listen to him on a daily. And he has Facebook Lives every morning called Tea with Gary. And he talks to so many people that are doing all different sorts of things. And he really helps me put things in perspective, that it does not have to be a plan, or you don't even have to know what you're doing. Just get into action and then see where it goes. And I'm like, all right, Gary, okay, like, thank you. And I just go do it. And he's right. I don't know.
Gary, I think a lot of people sets them back. Fear, technology. Elise was saying something about her mom teaching herself Quark. I think technology and not knowing technology is a cop out. You can do it if you want to do it. To say that you're out of the loop, that's your own fault, because you can get into the loop. It might take you a little bit longer, but one thing I'm not afraid of. You can't be afraid of things. You got to do it.
I'm the queen of, I want to know how something works. Like, I go look at people doing the thing that I think is working. I go look at their stuff. And I'm like, and Elise does this too. We both actually go look at other people's stuff. We'll join it. We want to know how that thing operates.
Right.
And then we utilize that, because some of the people that we're looking at, they're, in the same space, or they might be a little ahead of us in the game of all of this technology and business and whatnot. But it's hard to talk about your fails, not in a sense because you don't want to expose them. It's like, how do you present this fail to people without not necessarily putting yourself out there? It's just like, how do you talk about it? Like, how do we even set this up to even begin to talk about the fails? And I think sometimes it's better for some people to then like show you this win, but let me tell you how I got to the win. Like, right. How I even got there, because I can't even talk about the failure because I'm in the midst of trying to fix it. And if I tell you about my failure right now, I can't tell you how I'm actually beginning to fix this thing. I mean, for us, being $15,000 out, like, we're $15,000 with unrefundable money at this point. That's a big, huge exposure or thing to expose to people. Like, and the reason for sharing that, we haven't asked not one of those businesses for a refund. We could possibly go and say, hey, times are rough. Can we get our money back? But all the businesses
they're in the same position.
They're all small. They're all small businesses.
Just like us.
We didn't want to, we're not saying we won't ever do this event. It's on hold until there is a better time. In the meantime, they got our money and they better come through with that service when we need it.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Right. Yeah.
I think mindset and doing, like, getting your mind together for failures. I know for me, a lot of my issue is like I can say that honestly, and I'm a super confident person, but I've been afraid of success. I've been afraid of okay, when I get there, what is the responsibility? Because with anytime somebody gives you greatness, there's a responsibility that goes with that. And so I know even for me in this last couple of weeks, especially when I was super depressed, I wrote like these little post-its. I just pulled these off of my long mirror in my bedroom. And this one says, don't be afraid of success. So I look at this every day. And I also have them on my bathroom mirror as well.
Oh my Lord.
This one says, do it scared. Yeah, this one says, do it scared. You can't see it. And then the other one said, the only person holding you back is you, because I'm isolated. So the only thing holding me back is me. So I think even doing small things like that, or whether you need to get something done, putting post-it notes, something that you look at every day, and read every day, has helped me a lot in getting things done, and making sure that I keep my mind in the right place, because a lot of it is mindset and where your head, because you put all this stuff in your head and you can't process it all. So even like for me, just having these simple post-its up helped me so much. And it's so like small and insignificant, but you'd be surprised how powerful these
I need
little
one
bitty
post-it.
paper have.
That's all I need. One post-it. Get up off your ass and do it.
Write that on your post-it and stick that shit. Do it on your post-it.
I'm putting it all over the place. I'm putting it everywhere I go.
And honestly, I think
serious.
I'm gonna put it on my lappy everywhere.
I honestly think we're all motivated by different things, which I think is great. I think me and Elise both share that, and then I'll try to talk for her. I'm just speaking because we work together so much. For myself personally, my motivation, I always be thinking about like, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? Not in the sense of, and I'm talking about for myself. If I don't get this done, I am not going to be able to take care of myself. So this actually, all of this for me personally came out of a necessity. I needed money. I needed some money. I was in cosmetology school. There's no way you can work with the way cosmetology school is set up. They don't even, it's just no way to work and go to cosmetology school. It sucks. It's whack. But that was a way for me to actually make money and to engage on the internet, which I was already doing. So, yep, same. So that's what it came down to. So now I'm driven by the same thing. I'm just driven by the fact. Also, it's like for me, I love to solve problems. That's what I am. I'm driven by solving problems, and I like figuring shit out. So being able to figure some stuff out, or even understand something in a different way that I didn't understand it, because y'all taught me, I learned something from all of you all today with how all of you think, and how you guys see the world. It actually made me like come out of myself to like understand how you're experiencing the world. So being able to do that is actually even been real helpful to me, just in business, like working with clients even. It helps a lot.
Yeah, I love these conversations because we're all so different, and we all have our own resistance, our own openness, our own creativity, our own personalities. I've really enjoyed being in this group personally because I live by myself. So honestly, I always look forward to the Marco Polos. When you guys don't post, I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything because I want to see what they want to talk about. But someone needs to say something because I need a conversation today. So it's been a real
That's so funny.
It's been a real struggle for me, but I've come out of this. I know we're not fully out of it, but Rona has taught me. Rona's taught me to rely.
Rona.
Rona.
I did not 2 weeks ago when they
Rona taught me.
Rona's a noun.
Got it.
Rona's a noun. So now,
go ahead, Meg. We love it. I love Rona.
I don't know. I just feel like this pandemic has really opened my heart up to everybody and opened me up to like, my world was so small and like a bubble because I was working so much, and now I'm not in my routine. So I'm really excited. I love this group because it's really taught me a lot about everything, business wise, everything. I mean, Adriana's gonna have to show me how to make a good margarita now. Like,
oh my God, I haven't figured it out. Like, yes.
Banana bread is what fried? This baby fries banana bread.
I know.
In butter.
The butter.
In butter. She fries it in butter on a skillet. Who does that?
It looks amazing though. I know the butter set it off though. That butter set it off. I knew it when I saw it in it frying in that butter. I was like, yes, come on, my friend. You got the butter on the bread.
I've been cooking. That's the one thing that's been keeping me sane is cooking. But as you said, Aisha, are you going to come out of this Rona fine or Rona fat?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm not. I told you
I'm trying to break even.
I'm coming out thick.
I'm just trying to break even. I don't need to be Rona fine. I just don't want to be Rona fat.
You know what? Meg has to now.
I'm Rona thick. I'm just Rona thick. I'm not fat. I'm Rona thick.
Rona thick.
How about this? I need my cookies, cakes, and pie, and that's part of my coping mechanism. This is the only thing that's going to help me get through this time of need. Like, if I want to tell you that I've made my son brownies, almost an extra pan of brownies, like every day, like the last week and a half, and I've been responsible for eating at least half of it. So,
and I've just been keeping myself busy. Well, not busy. I'm trying not to, like, I don't know if it's that I guess I have a hard time admitting that I do like to work and I like doing work. And so between, again, taking this course, this online course for marketing, which I realize that's what I like to do. I love marketing and figuring out how that shit works. And then doing this 45-day challenge, and y'all talking about alcohol, and I can't have any right now, but
sorry.
I'm about a pomegranate martini right now.
When you guys come to Tampa for the class that we had to reschedule, I'll make you your margarita.
Okay, I'll done with the challenge by then.
When Tampa happens, it's
I think we've discussed everything that we were going to discuss today about the Rona, just about surviving and thriving despite getting through all of our ups and downs of being like sheltered in place, what it means to have us. Well, all of us are working in suites. So, Adriana has a full salon. I think our salons are the same size, but we actually have a suite that's the size of your salon.
Yeah, probably.
But all of us are working kind of individually. I only work with other people when Elise is in town and when Andre's not at school. So we've discussed that. We actually have it easier than other people who work in multi-booth salons as far as what returning looks like.
Yes, I think for us it's a lot easier to contain things because we're in smaller spaces and we have a lot more control about who comes in and how we move around those spaces and clean them.
That's an excellent point. And then about us all seeming to be or caring about the overall health conditions just of our clients coming in. Like, we don't want to expose them to anything, and we don't want to, put them in a situation, or even ourselves in a situation. I was talking to another stylist the other day. She's like, part of our job as stylists is also protecting the public and their health. That's why we have to learn meditation.
That's the only reason we're licensed. For safety and sanitation.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the only thing that we have to renew every 2 years to retain our license.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. For those of you that have joined us, we appreciate y'all for participating, chiming in. Leave comments below this video. We'll check them periodically throughout the week. If there's anything y'all want to talk about, this isn't the last time that we're going to meet up. This is not the last time, right?
No,
absolutely not.
I mean, we have a rolling polo. Like,
and just go live. Like, why not?
So this won't be the last time that we'll come on here to discuss, and it won't always be about salon stuff. It might even just be about what's going on in the world currently or where we're at in the world. Whatever. And if there's something that you will want us to talk about, leave a comment at the bottom and let us know what it is that we might have missed today, or just in general that you would love for us to discuss moving forward. And share this with your other stylist friends, because this is really a safe space for stylists to come together and just have conversations. As you can see, we amicably had a discussion. Nobody got spicy or anything. It's all a good time. I mean, we always don't agree, which is great because we all have different opinions and experiences, and that's what makes this beautiful. We're in 3 time zones. Yeah, 3. Yeah, 3 time zones, 5 different states. And so we are definitely experiencing this all differently. Yasmin says, hope you all stay well. And we hope you all stay well too. We hope that you're making the best decisions for yourself moving forward and your clients as we, figure out how stuff looks over the next, how many months. Everything's uncertain at this point, right?
Right.
Cindy says this was great. The most honest and refreshing group I have listened to this month. Cindy, we appreciate that.
We love it.
Compliment. Thank you for sharing your love.
Thank you.
This was for y'all. It really was. It was really for this was for other stylists. I was like, we all said that we know that other people are having these conversations or having these conversations that we are having. And sometimes it's great just to hear it's refreshing to know that you are not alone in your thoughts or where you are at this moment. You're in uncertainty. We're all uncertain, at home on our beds in my kitchen.
The 5 of us have seen each other break down and
Ronnie broke down over popcorn. And first of all, y'all don't. Ronnie is a gangster. When she had that name, Curl Gangster, Ronnie is a real live gangster in real life. Okay,
you're welcome,
baby. I have to tell this story before we go. This shit is hilarious. So we have this Marco Polo. We all chime in on it just whenever we want to. It's not like, oh, we chiming in it. Whatever. It's just whatever. So one evening I was sitting there and Ronnie tapped in and she was like, she had been talking about this popcorn for days. Literally days. She's like, oh, I can't find, I gotta get me some popcorn. And anybody knows Ron, she loves bacon. Anything related to bacon, she is there. Okay.
Popcorn.
She wanted that caramel bacon popcorn. She had been hyping it up. She was excited. Okay, I'm finna go outside my house and I'm finna find kernel corn because it can't be that pop secret. She needs fresh.
No, popcorn kernels.
Yeah, she needs popcorn kernels. So it was serious, honey. And so she was like, days a day, I'm finally gonna leave my house. I've been on quarantine. I don't think she was feeling well at the time either. And so she's like, but I'm leaving today to get these kernels. It's going to happen today. And then that baby rode around LA or Pasadena all day looking for popcorn kernels. And by the end of the day, she was beat down and defeated. She got on there. She was sitting in her car. Oh, she hadn't even got out the car. How defeated she was. She hadn't even got out the car yet. She was like, y'all, I'm just having a moment. She was like, I cannot find popcorn kernels. And then she had a single tear that just rolled down. And I was like, Ronnie. And I was like, you just don't have any kernels. What? Like, all I want in life is popcorn kernels. I just wanted popcorn kernels. Like, I went by Walmart. I went by Whole Foods. I went by Target. I went by Central Market, and nobody, who the fuck is eating the popcorn kernels?
It was real, and I was just kept waiting. I just kept watching the video. Like she came on I was like, she can't be crying for real. And then Sonny waited, and then she finally came in and responded. And then Ronnie said something else. And I said, oh, she really was crying over popcorn.
And I had to get her together. I was like, friend, I was like, because I'm not gonna put her on her business, but she had some other stuff going on with herself, and the popcorns took her down. It took her all the way to
the popcorn took me out.
Popcorn, it sent her. She was done. She just tapped out. I was like, friend, this is not really about popcorn. And you're just having a moment. Go ahead and have a moment. And it was so it's for us to do it. And baby, and it's so funny because even in our space, everybody has a different reaction to it. So like me and Adriana are like, oh my God, Ronnie, we're gonna give you air hugs. Like, it's okay. Don't worry about your cry. And then Aisha's like, bitch, are you really crying over my And it's so funny because Ronnie's that same way. She does not have any time for your tears. She's like, bitch, suck them goddamn tears up and da 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 da. And so they're both the same. And then me and Adriana, and then now Meg. We gotta figure out where Meg is at. Meg might be somewhere in the middle.
No, Meg. Meg. No, the other day Meg came on like she would have been like, she said her light mask, like, fuck this shit. And then she came back hours later. She had her makeup older down. Like, she's fine. That's all I got from her. She's fine. That's what 5-year-olds do. One minute they like are tearing shit up, having tantrums, and the next minute they're like, "Look at me, look at me, I'm cute." That's totally had that kind of moment. Adriana just disappears. We don't see her.
She was gone. We were waiting.
She was gone for like a week. And we're like, where is Kiki?
Right.
Right. For like 3-4 days.
Kiki had that bodysuit. She might have been busy that whole week. So I'm just saying.
No, I was melting down. I had my meltdown when my landlord sent me like a collection letter.
Oh God. Yeah, that lady was gone. And then Sonny just like, one minute she like what was you doing? You was doing your consultations and then you disappeared. You did disappear and you came back and you were sewing. I was like, what's going on here? You had a no.
I was like, bitch, I make a mess. Like, it came to me like a lightning bolt. Here we are.
Yeah, so here we are, and all of our what has been my thing? Like, oh, because I went from like I'm taking this course to like, oh, I'm on a fitness challenge. I was gone for a few days.
You do the most. You do the most.
You're doing the most. That's what you're doing. She's just, baby. Aisha has been on 5 different diets in the last 3 weeks. Okay. 5 different diets.
Everybody's diet.
Like, she done the paleo diet. She's on the 45 challenge.
She's like, oh wait, I can't do that.
For a couple days. She done bought kale for this and kale for that. And she's trying all these new recipes.
She done made sweet potato about 30 different ways.
Yes. She's like, I'm gonna, you know what, bitch, I'm not leaving Rona fat. Like, it's
she put Tony's on everything.
Your thing is your diet. That's your thing, your diet. Because your class, that's stuff you do anyway. It's them diets. That's what it is.
Yeah, I do. But this one's sticking. I feel really good. This is actually the first, tomorrow makes a week that I've been doing this one. But because it's a challenge, I'm really competitive in real life. I'm super competitive. And when it comes down to fitness, I'm the person at the gym. I'll see somebody, I'm like, she think I can't do it because I'm bigger than her. Watch me kill her. She don't know we're in a competition. I'm in a competition with people that don't know we're in a competition together. So this has there's a Facebook group to this challenge. So I'm in a competition with people and they don't even know we're in a competition. But I'm a winner.
But then she not right. She's like, the lady said they supposed to have grilled chicken. She was like, fuck that. I'm eating these chicken thighs. Chicken thighs? That's the best part. Like, what? That smoothie's nasty. I'm not eating that smoothie. What we going to do? So me and her had a whole 30-minute conversation about how we was going to work that smoothie out. But we got it together.
Did because I'm not doing that protein. That protein powder is trash. So thank y'all again for joining us for this first round or this first episode of Trigger. We will definitely be back because who knows how long. I'm not trying to put that in the universe, but we don't know how long it's going to be before we get back to work. We'll definitely try to find a way when we do head back to the salon how to keep this up. It might not be weekly, but we'll definitely figure out. We'll talk about it when that time comes for us. In the meantime, we'll probably be back. Are we going to come back next week? Ish.
Yeah, let's come back.
There's no time anymore.
Yeah.
Saturday,
Whatever.
We can go come back. Yeah.
Saturday might be 3 days from now because I never know what day it is.
So we'll be back next Saturday, and we'll let you guys know ahead of time, like what day and time for sure, so that y'all can tune in and join us. Because it's not like y'all going
outside.
Outside is
Anisha said last night, outside is closed.
Outside is
closed.
So we'll be back together again. Just get your mind right. Shift your mindset. We're going to be back again, and we'll see y'all soon. Thank y'all so much for joining us.
Bye.